We are on Lake Muskoka, just in between Gravenhurst and Bala, and we are on a lovely little bay on the west side of the lake. This is my house. We bought it a few years ago with the intention of it being a cottage. We had actually planned to renovate it and then Airbnb it when we weren't going to be here. And once we finished the renovation, we decided that we loved it so much we actually wanted to move up here. So we sold our home in the city and we moved up here full time, and we've been here for about a year now. The goal for this renovation was to make it feel like it had a European aesthetic to it. There are a lot of cottages that get renovated up here, and you see a lot of the white shiplap, you see a lot of the blonde white oak floors, and that is really beautiful, but I wanted this space to be a little bit different and to reflect more of a European cottage element. So we brought on an incredible build team, Cottage Country Builders. They've been in this business for decades, and they really helped bring my vision to life for this space. It was, I think, more than we anticipated when we bought the place. We actually expanded the scope, and it ended up that everything came down to the studs. We re-insulated, we sistered the joists in the floors, and we took down a big structural wall. So there used to be a wall dividing the kitchen and living room, and there actually used to be another wall right in the middle of the kitchen dividing the dining room and the kitchen. So we completely opened up the space, which was really nice. I used as many natural materials as possible. I brought in a stone veneer that we clad the kitchen walls with. We have a granite slab in the kitchen where we had 10 guys come and carry it in because I did not want a seam down the middle of the countertop. We have white oak in here, we have marble. So really there was a focus on using natural elements and really trying to connect the space both indoors and outdoors. The kitchen cabinetry is mainly stained white oak and went with a color called elephant ear as the accent color on the upper cabinets and on the coffee bar. And then the mortar is a dark color and really allows the stone to pop on the back wall. I have 3 favorite design features in the kitchen. The first one is the antique doors that I purchased from the door store. They're 200-year-old vintage doors from Egypt, and they're incredible. They, I think, open up the space so much, especially with the mirrors on them. They bring light and a really interesting detail, I think, to the kitchen. My second favorite detail are the gas-powered sconces that are on the walls. They took a lot of work and thought to get them installed, but they are my favorite. We turn them on almost every night. They create such a warm ambiance in here, and I really love them. And my third favorite thing, and I swear I will never do a renovation without it, is the integrated paper towel holders that we have, only for the reason that there are always a lot of people here, and the integrated paper towel holders just keep the space clean and clutter-free, and those would be my favorites. I did not want this space to feel like it was meant to be for TV watching. I wanted it to feel that it was there for gathering and conversations, with the understanding that, yes, we also do watch TV. We chose to go with 2 sofas facing each other and then 2 chairs as well, just to inspire conversation and coziness. We did put the TV off center in the living room, so that allows us to keep that tucked away, but it is on a swivel mount, so we can use it when we need to. Really the focal point of this was the fireplace. We put in a beautiful wood burning fireplace and had Trumo Stones make us a custom mantle for the space. We clad the fireplace as well in the same stone that was in the kitchen, so we had that continuity. While we gutted the entire space, we didn't change anything with the roof lines. The ceiling is a clear pine that was stained to match the floors. We originally had spec'd to do beams every 6 feet, but ultimately it ended up making the ceiling height feel low. But I still wanted to have a little bit of that visual interest. So instead, we just changed the direction of the boards every 6 feet and put them in as a little bit of a breaking point between each of the spaces. The big 20-foot window that faces the water is actually a sliding door, and that is how we get onto the deck. That was quite a bit more work than we had thought. The door itself required us to go to Committee of Adjustments and get a permit, and that actually meant that we expanded the size of the living room by 4 feet. And I had already designed all of the millwork, I had already designed the fireplace, and I'm like, what are we gonna do with 4 extra feet? So we were able to design almost like a hotel-inspired bar area with 2 stools. You can pull up to the bar, make a drink. And it also allowed us to have 2 swivel chairs that can turn and look out at the water and have just a quiet moment as well. So the extra 4 feet seemed like an inconvenience for what we had to do, but ultimately it's part of the living room that makes it so special. We've got really well-designed storage in the front hall. We have 2 kids who have a lot of stuff, so we designed that intentionally. There's drawers for the smaller things like hats and gloves. And then everybody's got space for their shoes and jackets in their own closet. We also brought in an Italian porcelain stone in the front hall. I wanted it to feel like you're walking into a European cottage. And we did heat that floor, so when there are winter boots and rain boots and all that stuff, the water just melts right off and it's very easy to keep clean. So the principal bedroom used to be the Muskoka room, and I did have to work a little bit on convincing my husband to eliminate the Muskoka room. That was the screened-in porch area. I felt that it would allow us to have better use of the space if we turn that into a primary suite. So we did extend the size of it slightly, but it allowed us to have our bedroom, a walk-in closet, and our ensuite in there as well. So overall, I find it's much better use of the space and does give us nice separation from where the kids' bedrooms are. The bedroom wing we designed for the kids as they grow older. The beds are inspired by the Jenny Lind aesthetic and her design style. One of them is actually an antique. The other one is not, but they both have the spiral pickets. Again, that's going back to the old world European feel. I really wanted the furniture to feel as though it matches the rest of the decor in the home. We put a Jack and Jill bathroom in between the 2 kids' rooms. So we've got my son and my daughter in there and they share that bathroom. We did have a guest bathroom already in that wing. That had the tub in it because that used to be the only bathroom there. We do feel it's important to have a tub in the home. So while it was reconfigured and completely updated, that was always there as that bathroom. It actually used to be one large room downstairs that before we renovated basically could fit a king bed plus an entire living room. So we chose to split that up and make a room that had bunk beds so that when our kids got to the age of sleepovers, they could have all of their friends in one space, and it's right on the water. It's beautiful. It looks right out onto the lake. And the room to the side of it is a king bed in there. We also like the idea of being able to host our friends and family, and that acts as a space that they can be all together because there is a room for the parents and then there's a room right beside for the kids. They also have a full bathroom down there that is separated by pocket doors, so you can use the water closet while somebody else is using the shower. And we designed a very cute little bathing suit drying station so people can come right out of the lake, shower, hang up their bathing suits, and then hang out. We do a ton of laundry here, so we designed that so that it was a walkout right to the deck. If anybody is in the water or in the hot tub, they can come right in that door and the washroom is right there. So it was thought out in terms of location for that. In the summer, it's absolutely amazing. And when we actually first bought this place, the survey that came with the home described the different structures on the property and also that we had what they referred to as a swamp. All I thought was like, oh, it's gonna be super buggy, it's gonna smell. Meanwhile, the first spring we had here, everything completely exploded in greenery and it is so lush and beautiful. It actually drains and trickles into a stream that we have running through the property that goes out into the lake. And so if you're quiet enough, you can hear the sound of the stream that's coming actually from that swamp. It's a really special feature on the property and completely not what I had thought that it was gonna be. At the end of the day, I didn't want to design anything that was so precious or that couldn't be used the way it was meant to be used. There was nothing done that wasn't either thought out or that wasn't intended for cottage use. It means a lot of people around. Somehow people want to visit more than they ever wanted to visit our house in the city. But also it's nice for us because we have the space to host. We enjoy that and people will come for the weekend. Everybody is helping out. It's a space that's full of love and enjoyment all the time. Like this exact moment of quiet, yes, it has not been this quiet in honestly years. My family is all out of the house. I told them that the shoot wasn't over until 6:30 tonight so that I could have the space to myself.